Welcome to the Shoot It Straight podcast. Does everyone want to hear Squat Crunch on the mic?
You think that's picking that up?
It's the best sound there ever is. It's way better than a human eating.
Yeah, he does make the best crunchies.
It's like hearing people eating with their mouth open is so
That's
terrible.
disgusting.
But like a dog, it's like the best.
Well, because it's our mouths are made differently, right? Like his. He can't grind. Like humans, we grind our food, and like he just chomps. He doesn't have his jaw doesn't work that way.
It's bananas and apples for me.
The bananas are just mushy though, and he kind of just. But apples are great. We when we trained Squat, we diced up apples into small pieces, and those were his training treats because they weren't super high in calories, and we could give him a ton of them, and he loved them.
It's just so cute when they crunch.
He eats blueberries, and he likes fruit.
He does.
And milk. He loves milk.
Yep, and Grandpa fed him a lot of milk at home every day.
Oh, they shared milk every day.
Every day, and he would want to give it to him from the cereal bowl, and I'm like, no, that has so much sugar in it. He doesn't need that. That's a lot for a dog.
He just needs straight milk. He's good.
Yeah, I mean, milk in and of itself has plenty of carbs and sugar in there, but
And
anyway.
This dog, he'll do anything for milk. But anyways.
Guys, this is a good topic for the January.
For the January. It's the January.
Yeah, it's the January. It's your birthday month.
Yeah, unlike you, I don't celebrate the entire month, but, you know.
It's because January sucks, and everyone knows it, but whatever.
Just one dinner is enough celebration for me.
Okay, well, it's the time of year where the challenges and the New Year's challenges and the New Year's resolutions and the groups and the 6-week this and the 30-day that, it's all thrown in your face over and over and over again.
I am kind of excited to see what the new bullshit's going to be this year.
Every year.
There's always some new bullshit out there.
I can't say the same. I can't say I'm excited for the new bullshit. It's all the same bullshit. It's just branded differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what were you telling me about the Jillian Michaels thing?
Oh, I saw a commercial where like they did you can wager how much weight you're going to lose and you can like win money.
See, I don't even want to talk about it because this is what they want. They want people to talk about this shit on their shit. I don't even want to talk about this shit.
That was a new one. I hadn't seen that one before. Okay, so I did see what a new thing is.
Yeah, I don't know that you said what's the new thing, and that made me think about
is.
that because I'm like, oh god, she's still around. Like, what the fuck? Actually, didn't you say also that like Lane Norton had her on, or vice versa?
It was actually pretty interesting. She has a podcast, which everyone that has a platform has a podcast. And she made some. I can't remember how it all started. I think she had an Instagram post and she said something. Lane called her out, and then she invited Lane on to discuss the topic that he called her out for. Yeah. So, which is actually kind of cool to hear that she was willing to have him on there to debate her, essentially, and
that's her thing.
It was good.
I mean, she's confrontational. Whatever. Not a fan of her. Big fan of Lane. I mean, good for them. I'm glad they had a productive discussion. Whatever. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just not a fan. Anyway, but yes, guys, we are here to discuss the pros and cons, I think, of the 75 hards and the quick fix challenges and the things that pop up, not just in the new year, but throughout the year, quite honestly. Like there will be one for summer or even spring break. By the time people are done with their New Year's resolutions, then it's March spring break, then it's summer, then it's back to school.
And then we're back in this position all over again.
Yeah, it's having the same
conversation
a couple times a year for sure. But I think that this is a big time of year where we're getting into and I get it. There's some really, I've been coaching nutrition now for years and years and years, and there is a natural cadence in the year where like it probably doesn't make sense to diet throughout the holidays. A lot of people are traveling, whether you're celebrating holidays or not. You're taking time off work. Or you're slammed at work. Maybe your work is extremely busy this time of year. Either way, things are just a little bit crazy this time of year. And then things slow down dramatically in January. It's dark. It's very dead of winter. There is not a lot necessarily going on for most people. And so it's like, cool. And like now I'm shifting my focus back into getting into a routine again. Like, you kind of maybe even feel kind of yucky I feel like after a little while you're like kind of tired of eating the cookies and the cake. Like you're just like, fuck, I'm done. And you want to relax and or you want to relax on the sweets and the alcohol, and you want to feel better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get why there's a natural tendency to lean into something where it's like, I'm going to be dry, or I'm going to go on a diet and do all the things. And I think that's like where the buck stops for me, though, as far as like the positive reasons why it makes sense to maybe start to refocus that time of year. I don't know what your take is on that, but
Yeah, I mean, I think time is a very powerful motivator. So when it's the new year, we really feel that, right? Because you're like, oh shit, another year went by, and I didn't get this accomplished, right? Or something along those lines, right? So we get motivated by this starting anew, and I'm going to do so much better, and I'm going to clean up all these bad habits. And I think what we end up getting in a bad cycle of doing is just biting off more than we can chew, and not letting it become like a lifelong habit. Like, keep some of your bad habits, eliminate some of them right now, and we'll attack those next year. We got to, make these habits that stick. Pick some things, and I'm saying like, just pick some of the things that we can take care of right now that you can truly commit to forever. The first 90 days is like your trial of it. Like, that's when you can really be motivated, but like pick these things that you can do forever. That's why like, like a 70, I've never done the 75 hard or some of these like things that are really, really strict. Just cause you're not going to be able to do that forever.
yeah.
Right.
And
So like, let's pick something, let's pick a couple of things we can work on now.
I think that's great. Let's unpack that a little bit. So again, if people don't know what 75 hard is, to be honest with you, I think
I don't know what
it's
is.
75 days.
It's
It's 75 days. I believe you work out twice. Like, you have to do 2 workouts. One of them needs to be outside. I believe there's no alcohol. And of course there's like nutrition rules too, or something like that. And again, I'm not going to sit here and bash any one particular program. Maybe an old version of me would have done that, but that's really not productive.
Mm-hmm.
There is certainly value in the whole 30s, right? Where people, or the dry Januaries, or the sober October, when we're doing these extreme things. And when we say extreme, I think we mean things that aren't necessarily sustainable for the long term. So you typically, when you're cutting things out, or you're doing it for a short period of time.
With that being in your mind that I'm only going to do this for a short period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
The value is that you learn what you can do in that short period of time. You might learn, people certainly feel, this is what it feels like to not drink. Whoa, like my sleep is way better, and damn. Or like, whoa, I've meal prepped for 4 weeks because I wasn't eating out. Like that. Mm-hmm. Wow, like I noticed my energy levels are different, or like I lost weight as a result of that, or I saved a lot of money. Like there are plenty of like tangential, or not tangible. I was like tangential.
I was like, I don't know what that
I was
word
going to
means.
say the whatever tangible things that can result from those types of challenges. But to your point, it's like, well, what happens when that's over? And that's always what it comes back to, is like, all right, well, what happens on day 31? Or like what happens when you take the next sip of alcohol? We tend to just kind of like not reflect, or I did the thing, and now
what?
I'm just going to go back to how I was before.
Right.
And we learn nothing from it.
Right.
Other than like, cool, I dropped the 10 pounds of water weight or whatever, right? Change takes a long time. Real lasting change truly, truly, truly does. I think it's very easy to look at somebody's body, or look at what they're doing in the gym, or looking at how they're eating, and be like, wow, they look like that because they eat this way for a really long fucking time. Most of the time, or even if you think about somebody's skill and you're watching someone like prepare your food, and they're doing it or a cool bartender, like the way they prepare drinks, like some of them are like, whoa. And you're like, it's probably because they've been doing this for a long fucking, they've been putting in the hours, they put in their work. Everyone has their craft.
Right.
It's the same thing in like in the health and the fitness space, but instead it's really easy to sell people on this things that are quick, because that's what we just always want. That we want the get rich fast. And I want to go back to your point earlier of when you said, you can do it, we can do anything for 4 weeks, or like, it's easy to say you can do something for 30 days. Well, January is a good time for that, because things maybe are more chill, but that's not a good time to actually learn to adapt your lifestyle and change. I encourage people when I'm coaching with them to start when things are actually kind of messy and hard, because that's when shit actually hits the fan. So for example, am I taking people on like a diet and telling them they should lose weight during like Christmas season? No, that's contradictory to what I said earlier. Mm-hmm. But you will always have things going on in life. There will always be things. Jobs will be crazy. Stress will be high. Hours at work will be high. Events and weddings and parties and vacations, they are all the fucking time. Again, this is like just from so much experience. You're the same way with like these people that constantly have excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse why they can't sustain certain healthy habits, is because they only do it when it's convenient. That's the fucking problem. And so we get into these like things where we do things for 3 to 5 to whatever weeks. We're not thinking about how am I going to be able to sustain this long term, and what are the things that I'm changing that are actually things that I can do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's it. Because like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but even though you don't necessarily have to be on a diet for forever to lose weight and have the body that you want, and you shouldn't be on a diet for forever, that's not what we're saying. In order to sustain your results that you got from the thing that you did, you kind of have to keep doing the shit that you were doing. Mm-hmm. And you got to do it for longer.
Right.
Like full stop. And so like, yeah, maybe the holidays isn't the time to go on a diet, but I also encourage my clients to not go the other direction that they used to go in. Mm-hmm. I said, hey, let's look at 2 years ago what Christmas would have looked like for you, and let's do something different. Instead of having 400 cookies, can we have 3? Or like whatever, right? Instead of always saying yes to the alcohol, can you just pick a day that you're going to drink and leave it at that? Because like, it sucks to have to keep going in the pattern over and over and over and over again. Every year I gain 20 pounds over the holidays, and every year I have to try to lose it off, or I keep gaining it and it keeps adding on and on and on. Putting 5 pounds on in a year doesn't seem like a lot, but after 5 years, that's 25 pounds. Mm-hmm. It adds up.
Yeah.
These things that we have to do to change are not extreme or like out of this world crazy. But I think the pattern of on again, off again, on again, off again is what gets people in a lot of trouble.
Right.
My rant is over.
Yeah, that was a good one. I mean, so, you know, I've been doing this, this personal training thing for over 10 years. And I think the biggest issue I see when people like start these challenges or something like that is like, there's usually a lot of strings attached. Like there's a lot of things you have to do, right? You've got to like log this, you've got to complete this many workouts, you've got to do like just so many things. And I think for the normal person out there is pick your like, maybe not your lowest hanging fruit, but like, let's call it your biggest like bang for the buck thing to like work on this year. Like if you, let's say you're someone that smokes cigarettes and drinks alcohol, eats bad food, this and that, and all this kind of stuff. Let's pick one of those. Probably smoking or something like that. Whichever one is the worst for you. Let's try to knock that one out. You know, let's dedicate our energy to like that, right? Instead of trying to do all 4 of them, because you're probably going to fail. Like that's just too many things to get rid of for the average person. Like unless you have some crisis and like you have to stop or you're going to freaking die or something, knock one of those things out. And then let's get the snowball effect rolling. You know, let's get that momentum going. So like that's what I think typically happens. And when you do some of these challenges, is there's so many things you have to do. Let's just get really good at one thing first, and then like make it add some stuff on later.
Yeah,
that's my advice for that.
I think that's good advice. I mean, the thing to remember is like a lot of people know the right things that they need to be doing.
Yeah, so it's not like going back to like the what
it's not a knowledge gap.
It's not a knowledge gap. It's not a mathematic problem.
It's
like
not.
It's a will. It's like there's something else there. So like let's just kind of pick off a little bit first.
Yes.
Because we know we need to do all of it, but the chances of you actually successfully doing all of it are low.
And keeping promises to yourself is important, which we've talked about recently too. And
you'll
that's
feel a lot
what
better.
You were talking about, like. if you have a list of 10 things that you need to do every day or whatever the fuck, and you don't do them, you're going to feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you can be like, fuck, I didn't do that. It's just,
Yeah.
it's the whole like, oh, my watch says I need to stand up or whatever, or breathe. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, if I didn't have that thing yelling at me, then I would, I'd listen to my fucking head or my body instead of like all these things that are like just giving me constant feedback. Like, do less.
Yeah.
Literally, sometimes it's about doing less and not doing more.
Yeah.
So like, if you can't meal prep and you're eating unhealthy because you're strung out all day and you're giving yourself no time, maybe the answer is to say no to more shit.
Yeah.
Literally. If you don't have time to cook food once a day, like, fuck, what are you doing? Like, seriously. I'm not kidding. Like, I'm done with the excuses with people. Like, we've both taken on, like, there's multiple things that we've been able to manage and hours worked and different jobs and all the shit. And it's like, if you want to get something fucking done, you'll get it done. Mm-hmm. And I've had clients same way. We've talked about like my moms that are like have new kids and they have 3 kids and they have jobs that are full time. They kick ass, like the most ass of all of them. Like, and it's not because they have more time and help and assistant. It's like they just get their shit done because they have to, they're like working 12-hour shift nurses and stuff. Those are the ones that are out there like crushing their goals.
Yeah.
It's not a whole like, and then you have these other people that just can't seem to get their shit together. That's it.
People be peopling.
People be peopling. I feel like I'm channeling like a little Andy Frisella, but I'm like, you just get to this point where you're just like, I'm done.
We did talk about his 75 hard, so.
Yeah, we did. It's fine.
So
like,
you're channeling Andy Frisella.
I think he would appreciate like that, like, differing opinions, like whatever. If he wants to sit here and tell me how great it is, that's great. Good for him. It works for some people. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. But like, back to the point is like, guys, if you've been doing something over and over and over and over again, year after year after year, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why and figure out why.
And I think one of the questions that's really good to ask yourself is, what can I do that'll put me when I sit here and ask myself this question next year, what did I do better that got me into, that I'm better off this time next year instead of just 30 days from now?
Yes.
Because that's really what you're going for, right? Year after year, like this whole momentum thing, like, just how can whatever goal I pick today, can I sustain it to be in a better position this time next year so I can pick another goal, and then year after year I'm going to get better.
Sure. Yes.
Because like golf too, like that's what I love about the game of golf is it's a lifelong sport. So like, what can I dedicate this year? Like maybe, golf fitness is relatively new. Like it's a new niche. It's a new, like it hasn't been people, the golfers haven't been training in the gym for, a few of them have, but like it's relatively new to be like this mainstream for us to be talking about it all the time. So like, what can I do this year? Maybe it's probably going to be like get faster, or can I enhance my mobility? And then what will that do for my game? Maybe I, my handicap drops. So I won depends on, how good of a golfer you are, right? Like if you're a 0, maybe you can be a +1. If you're a 15, maybe you can be a 10. Like, obviously like the gap, you can make more gains if, you have more to get better at. But, just think about that. Like, okay, I'm 30, I'll be 37. All right. When I'm turning 38, what can I get better at then? Because I can play this game. I'll be playing this game, until I'm 90, 95, 100.
Great.
Hopefully. So if I can just keep getting better for as long as possible, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Good way to wrap up is like, expand the time horizon. It's cool to think about 30 days, but like think about what you can get done in a year. That's a really cool way to like think about your goals in general, because that's really like what we should be aiming to do.
Yeah.
Because we're just so stuck in these like quick little 3-week, 4-week, 5-week, 6-week things, and that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
It's just not how it works. Be ready to be changing for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sign up for a program because you think it's going to fix your life. Sign up for it if you're ready to learn something new. If you haven't challenged yourself and done something that's hard in a long time and it's a way to kickstart it, like cool. Like literally do that, but have the expectation to like take something away from it and apply it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
And or choose not to sign up for it this year.
Yeah.
And be reasonable with yourself and realistic. But it is forever. Do the thing forever that you're going to do. Be able to, whatever changes that you're going to make, I think that they should be something that you're willing to do for the long haul.
Right.
Dead ass.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like it. That'll work for me.
That works for me too.
What about you, Bubs? Did that work for you?
Squad has. We have taken out. I mean, after the holidays. Speaking of post-holiday, he takes a couple of days to recover. We've done a lot of traveling and road tripping, and he's been tired these last 2 days.
He's been good boy.
But you've been a very good boy.
He's a good
Just
boy.
slightly annoying, but
He's a good boy.
all right. Well, hopefully that was helpful, y'all. Capricorn.
And Happy New
energy.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And definitely, whatever goal you pick, you still need to be working out. So like, don't let me forget that. Like that should obviously be a goal. You need to exercise.
Exercise,
and if you
get
need
your
some
sleep, get some programs.
Yeah, if you need some free workouts, check out our links page.
All right, y'all. CodyWescottGolf.com/links, and we will see you soon.
Thanks.